The government is still trying to work out which benefit sanctions to scrap, despite promises to remove the most excessive measures. Almost 2 years into its term in office, the only sanction that's been axed is the one on solo mums who don't name the father of their child, and that doesn't come into effect until April next year. Solo mums still face penalties if they don't meet their work obligations without good reason or fail to have their children enrolled at a medical centre. That has advocates calling on the government to speed up its response to help get families out of hardship. Our social issues reporter Sarah Robson has the story.
Josephine is one of the lucky ones. She's a solo mum of 2, and for 6.5 years she was having $25 docked from her benefit because she hadn't named the father of her youngest. But with the help of an advocate, she went through the process of getting an exemption. The sanction's been removed and she got back paid $8,000.
So that's incredible to not only have a lump sum, but also have the sanction lifted, which is every time my card declines. That's not going to happen for an extra $25. That's another, gets me a day closer to payday.
The Child Poverty Action Group has been among those pushing for an end to benefit sanctions. Its economics spokesperson, Susan St John, says they have exacerbated the hardship many sole parent families in particular are facing. She says the government should be acting far more quickly to repeal the sanction on solo mums who don't name the father of their child, as well as other penalties affecting families with children.
Removal of the sanctions when there are children is a critical step, and it's disappointing that the government is very slow to act and that the removal of the sanction for not naming the father doesn't take effect until next year. If it's unjust next year, it's unjust right now, and it was unjust for many years.
The Social Development Minister, Carmel Sepuloni, says further changes are being looked at. But she says they're still working out how the rules might be changed fairly without leaving the system open to exploitation. One area that has been identified already is the subsequent child rule, which means if you have another child while on the benefit, work obligations kick in when your youngest is 1 rather than 3.
And it's making sure that that balance is there. And so we will be looking at excessive sanctions. And as I said, it is about what is fair, what is reasonable, what is effective. And those will be the things that we take into consideration.
After RNZ's story in May last year about a woman who was told her benefit had been cut because she'd been on 2 Tinder dates, changes were made to the way the Ministry of Social Development signs off on sanctions, and 2 people need to do it instead of 1. That's resulted in a 30% drop in the number imposed in the last year. Carmel Sepuloni says that suggests penalties weren't previously being applied in a consistent and appropriate way.
I was concerned that actually any case manager, without any oversight, no matter how long that they'd been in the role, could actually apply sanctions to someone. And I thought, whoa, that's a very serious decision to have to make, and surely there should be someone with some sort of supervision authority to actually check that the decision being made was the right decision.
Kay Reid from the Ministry of Social Development says they've been focused on giving their staff better training so they can make the right decision. Mō te hōtaka o te ahi, ko Sarah Robson, aho.